Good morning. Good morning from Los Angeles, the world capital of volatility. Good morning, everyone. I didn't shave today. It's okay. I'll shave tomorrow. How's everybody doing? Hope you guys had a good weekend. I'll just wait until I feel you gather here before I get going. Welcome to the land of volatility. Welcome to the land of Michael Saylor. Welcome to the land of opportunity. Did a whole bunch of stuff this morning already. Almost actually day traded today, which I rarely do. So say good morning to everyone. Good morning, Adele. Good morning, Craig. Some of you may be driving and listening. Please pay attention to the road. That's more important than what we're going to talk about. What should we talk about today? Is there anything else to talk about other than Bitcoin? Is there anything to talk about other than Michael Saylor? Is there anything other than to talk about, MicroStrategy? What's going on? There is opportunity, right? Volatility creates opportunity, and I'm going to explain to you guys what's happening. I think that's going to be the majority of the Power Hour. So welcome to Power Hour every Monday, indefinitely, as long as I'm doing this. 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. If you're in the Pacific time zone, good morning. If you're in the Eastern time zone, good afternoon. It's a pretty interesting day, actually. It's turning out to be. Market gapped up this morning because Mr. Trump, President-elect Trump, selected Mr. Bassett, who happens to be a hedge fund tycoon, as the Secretary of the Treasury, and markets liked it. More importantly, who liked is the bond market liked it. And we'll see. We're giving up all our gains pretty much, but it's also a short week, by the way, right? So before I forget, happy early Thanksgiving to all of you. Markets are open on Friday, but they're closed on Thursday, obviously. So we'll get to eat our share of turkey, and it's it may add to the volatility, but a lot of people take off early, so the trading desks may not be fully occupied. But that may actually add to the volatility because liquidity may not be there. That's been my experience, in the past, but we'll see how it goes this week. So it's I want to talk a little bit about the channel. So please share the channel. I think we're doing really good work. I started doing my own thumbnails. I'm doing some killer thumbnails. Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? I'm learning how to use Canva. And check out the thumbnails on the videos. The last 10, 12 is mine. I think they're looking pretty good. YouTube is not liking it that much yet, but hopefully it will. So channel is, I think it's 1,475 members or something like that. Subscribers, not members. And please share. Please get me to 1,500 and then 2,000 and then 2,500. I want to grow this channel. I want to grow this community, obviously. To the point, not like the other channel, but it'll get there. I just need a video that hits 10,000 views, 20,000 views, and then I'll be on my way. But before I babble on too much longer, two things coming up on Wednesday. We're definitely doing the members only live. So channel is open for members. As you all know, a couple of them, 3 of them are here already. I see with their avatars. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Hopefully you all got your shirts. If you're a member and you don't have a shirt that I'm wearing, t-shirt, please email me, Sergio@sergioavedian.com. That's one of the perks of being a member. I will send you a free $30 value t-shirt that says #KnowYourWorth. It only comes in black. All you have to do is send me your t-shirt size and send me your physical address, and then you'll get it. And then when we're doing our members only lives, which is twice a month at the moment, but we're going to increase it to, instead of twice a month for 2 hours, we're going to increase it to 4 times a month for 60 minutes hard stop. I think it's going to be better that way. We can, we're getting a lot of good information exchange there. I think the members are definitely accelerating their learning curve, their process. A lot of them are actually doing trading, and a lot of them are doing well. So, great job, guys, gals. Importantly, if you do become a member, so you get those 2 perks. One perk is get the t-shirt for free, $30 value for $10, really. If you become a member, I think it's $10 or $9.99, something like that. But that's not the value that you're getting. The value you're getting is, doing more hands-on tutoring, mentoring, coaching, whatever you guys want to call it. That's what you're getting. So next members only live coming up on, what is it, on the 27th at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. And this one is going to go for longer, but give me 1 second, guys. Okay, sorry. Yeah, it's coming up. We may go 1 hour, we may go 2 hours, depends. But please, if you're a member, do that, show up. These are really, really informative, educational gatherings. Please show up, okay? All of you show up. I think I have 20 or 21 members by now. Some of you are showing up, some of you are not. Some of you are religiously showing up, some of you are not. I would like for all of you to show up, see your face, put a name to your YouTube avatars, right? Okay, so now that we took care of some of the business, on the channel, we're doing 2 live streams for the general public, for the subscribers. Mondays, Trading with Sergio. Fridays, Power Hour, both at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. If you have any questions, please put it in the chat. I'll hit them up. I'll definitely continue those. And then the members only lives on Wednesday. So I think pretty packed, actually. What else? So what happened over the weekend? Well, I mean, the talk of the town is what? Bitcoin, right? Trying to get to break the 6-figure mark. Let's see where it's at. 95,116 at the moment. It's a little bit of a struggle today, down about 3,000 today. So, I'm going to talk quite a bit about this because a lot of people have been asking me. They respect my opinion about this, and then, I mean, we should talk about it in detail, why I think is happening, what's happening, and how I'm trading it. Last week was wonderful. Great trading week, actually. This week is turning already a decent trading week. I'll show you guys my positions. I'll answer the questions as usual. I'm just trying to wait until a few more of you get in here. And okay, hold on 1 second, guys. Sorry, I have a Zoom call that they misunderstood. Okay, so that's done. Sorry. So Bitcoin, 95,000 and 100. If it breaks 95,000, I think we'll get down to 92. But I think that's normal, 10% correction, really. A lot of people are asking me, Sergio, what is this guy Michael Saylor doing? And I'm going like, okay. In fact, today's video is coming out at noon. The headline of the video is, I created the thumbnail. You guys will like it. Michael Saylor, genius or gambler? What do you guys think in the chat? Is Michael Saylor a genius or is Michael Saylor a gambler? Put it in the chat. I have my opinions. I have my opinions of what he's doing or what he's trying to do. I've been talking about this issue for the last 4 months since I started the channel. There is something happening called debasing of the currency or of our US dollar. Debasing means, the printing of the currency, unending printing of the currency, and devaluing our dollar, meaning our buying power being lowered constantly, is not a good thing, okay? So how do you protect yourself against that? Well, one way is do nothing, which is not good. Put your money in savings, which is earning you nothing, basically 4%, 4.5% if you're lucky. Although Robinhood, I think, is a 4.5 APY. But then the Fed started lowering rates, so those are going to go lower now, right? So how do you fight the debasing of the currency? Well, debasing of the currency is something starts on the fiscal end, right? Because we're running massive $2-3 trillion a year deficits. I've been talking about the deficits forever now on this channel. I'm getting tired of talking about it, but nothing is getting done about it. In fact, this weekend, actually, there is a debt meter. You guys should go check it out. Google US debt meter or debt counter. There are a whole bunch of clocks that are just spinning like wild, okay? As long as that's going on, you're losing value on the $100 nominal bill that you're holding in your hand, okay? The $100 bill you're holding in your hand 6 years ago, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, its buying power was a lot more. Well, why is it less today? It's because the government has no fiscal discipline. This has nothing to do with politics. Both sides, Republican or Democrats, they like printing, spending, printing, spending. Government spending is out of control, okay? Well, hopefully we'll see. We'll have Doge now coming up, Department of Government Efficiency with Elon and Vivek. I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything about it because a lot of this has to go through Congress. And if they come with really super sharp cuts, I'm not sure, it's going to work out, but we're going to see. So the debasing of the currency continues. And if you look at everything else that's going on around the world, a lot of countries, actually, BRICS specifically, are abandoning the US dollar because they figured, okay, well, they're turning the dollars I'm holding into toilet paper. I don't want to own it. So what are they doing? Okay, well, there was a video I put out last week, and I'm going to put out another one this week. So during times like this, the only way to protect yourself is by hard assets, okay? What are hard assets? Let's look at it. Let's look at gold, all-time high. Silver, close to an all-time high. Stock market, all-time high. Real estate, all-time high. And a lot of people are, and the last but not least, Bitcoin, all-time high, right? Close to it, 6 figures almost. Okay. So to protect yourself and not to slave harder for a paycheck, and then that paycheck that you receive every 2 weeks, let's say, on your W-2, is buying less and less and less and less. You have to do something to make up that shortfall. A lot of you drive. Well, that's not going to do it. That's just not going to cut it because that's just cash flow to pay your bills. What else is going on, right? So you have to save in a hard asset. You cannot just put the money in a savings account and hope that the 3-4% you're going to get is going to do anything for you. The reason it's not going to do it is because the debasing is happening at a level of 6 or 7%. So if you cannot be at the 6 or 7% level, that $100 bill still says $100 on it, like it did 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Nominally, it's still $100. But what is it buying you? It's not buying you anything, right? I mean, today, literally, if you go to McDonald's, a family of 4, and have some sort of, Big Mac meal, you're going to pay $60. What was that 5 years ago? $30. Well, the other thing is your W-2 going up 6 or 7% a year? So you guys have to think deeper a little bit about this. So I'm going to connect all this to Bitcoin, right? Okay. So Bitcoin has become one of these assets. It's a finite asset. There's 21 million of them, as far as I know. more cannot be made, unlike the US dollar. More US dollars have been made since the pandemic, close to $15 trillion worth. And they put it into circulation. Okay, what is that going to get you? Okay, that's going to get you a $36 trillion debt, that the interest payments on it is $1.2 trillion this year. Okay, that's going to be an anchor on your economy. It's bad. So how do you protect yourself against that? The only way to protect yourself, well, through Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor is saying that as long as the debasing continues, as long as the dollar becomes toilet paper, I'm going to, do what I need to do to protect myself and my shareholders through his company, MicroStrategy. I think trading, first of all, Bitcoin is ridiculous. Okay, I mean, I'll do it here and there, but don't follow me on that, because I'm on it. I can get in, I can get out. But owning Bitcoin for the longer term is definitely the way anybody should look at Bitcoin. And I'm not going to talk about any other altcoins, Ethereums and Solanas and Lightning Network and all the stuff I know about it. But more of those could always be made, such as Ethereum. Why do you think Ethereum hasn't gone up to 5,000 already? Maybe it will, maybe it won't, because they can make more of it. Bitcoin is something that you cannot make more. It's a finite amount. Okay, so Michael Saylor figured this out. So he has a functioning company called MicroStrategy. They have earnings, they have sales, they have revenue. It's just a regular functioning, any other corporate structure. Well, what he's figured out is that he started this program in 2020, by the way. A lot of people called him crazy and a gambler and whatever, not in 2020. Well, we're in 2024, finishing 2024. Where is Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy today? It's been the best performing stock on the NASDAQ, including NVIDIA, by the way, last couple of years. So who's the fool now? Is he a gambler? Is he a genius? Well, I'm going to explain why I think I'm not going to give the verdict, because the video is coming out at noon today, so you guys need to watch that. So over the weekend, he bought, I think, 55,000 more Bitcoin for over $3.5 billion. Now, where is he getting this money? How's he finding this money, right? I mean, he doesn't have a printing machine like the U.S. government does. Where is he getting this money? Well, he's doing it in two ways. He's doing it through ATMs, at the market stock sales. And now some of you will say, who understand the business, say, well, Serge, he's diluting the existing shareholders. Not if the stock price keeps going higher, right? And he's also doing it through convertible bonds. And convertible bonds are bonds that an institution or an entity will buy from him, from his company, giving him the money, obviously. He's doing this to the tune of billions of dollars, by the way, okay? And some of you may say he's mortgaging his company's future. I don't think so. I think there is a method to his madness here, and I'm going to try to explain it to you. If you guys don't understand it, put it in the chat. Ask me all the questions you want. I'll get to it at the end. So what he's doing is he's issuing these convertible bonds. Convertible means it's a bond. It's a note, actually. It's a 6-year note. Somebody lends you money. You pay him a little bit of an interest, much lower than regular interest rates, because there is a kicker to it. The kicker is you can convert that bond into common shares, especially if it's above your strike price. So the last one he did was at a 0 interest rate. Somebody is lending him money at 0 interest rates. Think about this, guys. Okay. Today, if you want to go borrow money, if you're a top credit as a corporate entity, right, you're at, I don't know, 5%, right? Well, he's getting this money at 0%, basically no interest, for 6 years. And the conversion price continuously keeps going higher. So on this last batch, it's $665. Stock is only $400, right? But the lender of this money is trusting his system, is understanding what he's doing. And this is happening to the tune of billions of dollars. This is not happening like 20, 50, $100 here and there, okay? This is institutional money. This is people who do their due diligence and giving him the money. Who are these people giving him the money? Well, There is bylaws and there is guidelines for institutions, okay, to invest in certain things. Now, there are bond buyers who can only invest in bonds. They cannot invest in stocks. But Michael Saylor figured this out, right? Like a fox. All right, he says there is $450 trillion bond market with a T, trillion, okay? If not all, most of these entities, such as pension plans and institutions and you know, foreign governments and things like that, right? They cannot directly buy Bitcoin because in their charter, they're not allowed to buy Bitcoin, okay? Well, how are these companies and other companies or other institutions participating in this $450 trillion bond market, right? Because if you're a bond fund manager, you can't buy Bitcoin. It's not in your charter. You're not allowed. Legally, you can't. You may want to. Well, that's what Michael Saylor is tapping into. He's doing these at-the-market stock sales and also convertible bond sales to buy Bitcoin. Well, what's happening? All these institutions who are not allowed to buy Bitcoin directly through an ETF or directly on an exchange and put it in cold storage, they're able to participate in the Bitcoin train by doing these convertibles because now they're buying bonds or notes from Michael Saylor's company, MicroStrategy. So Michael Saylor has turned MicroStrategy into a Bitcoin proxy for these other entities, and the marketplace is massive. It's $450 trillion. So you guys have to understand this game, what's happening here, right? And this weekend, Michael Saylor, I wrote it down actually, he bought, he's up to 386,700 Bitcoin now. He bought 55,000 more Bitcoin at 97,000. His average cost on all of this since 2020, the purchases, is 56,700. Now, some of you are going to say, well, what if Bitcoin goes to 30,000, Serge? No problem. He's not on margin. He's not leveraged. He doesn't have to get liquidated. He will not get liquidated. I think if Bitcoin goes down to like, somebody told me this, I have to do this on my own, but you know, don't fact check me on this. Bitcoin has to go down like 95% before Michael Saylor is forced to sell any of his Bitcoin. Now, when all these, you know, all these convertible bond note, I keep saying bond, note, by the way, is anything 10 years or less is a note. Anything over 10 is a bond. Well, 20 years a note, anything over 20 is a bond. So these holders are giving him the money to participate in the Bitcoin because his company has turned, you know, to a Bitcoin treasury asset. I mean, his treasury, corporate treasury, is holding, as I said, 386,700 Bitcoin, and let's say at 100,000, that's $38 billion. And his cost is about 22 billion, so he's up $16 billion. So the higher Bitcoin goes, right? And then I'm going to explain something that I saw on Twitter, which I completely disagree, is the higher Bitcoin goes, the higher his share price is going to go, right? And the buyers of these convertible notes are going to participate in the Bitcoin appreciation, right? And since it's a finite amount over long periods of time, not 1 day, 2 days, 1 week, 2 months, 6 months, we're talking 6 years. In 6 years, whoever's buying these convertible notes is thinking that the Bitcoin is going to be 200,000, Bitcoin is going to be 300,000. Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy is going to be, instead of $400 a share, it's going to be $2,000 a share. They're going to convert, okay, at 665, and then if they sell that 2,000, look at the gain. But what else they're doing? They're getting exposure to Bitcoin because under their charter legally, they're not able to do so, right? So Michael Saylor tapped into this marketplace that I think is genius, okay? Now, there is always a downside in every upside, right? You guys have to understand that. And some of you may think that way. If Bitcoin was not a finite item, I would have said he's probably gambling, right? But over long periods of time, 19.5 million of this Bitcoin is already accounted for, right? And He announced that he's going to do $42 billion worth in the next 3 years. This was on the last earnings call. $42 billion worth, 21 million in stock sales and 21 billion in stock sales and 21 billion in convertible notes. He's going to issue those and go to market and buy Bitcoin, okay, at the open market. And this weekend he did. He issued the bonds last week, and I mean notes last week, and then he went and bought $3.5 billion more Bitcoin. Now, some of you are going to say, well, who's selling this to him, Serge, right? Because it seems like there's a wall at 6 figures. Bitcoin has never been at 100,000, right? Or over 100,000. So it seems like there's a wall. Somebody's doing the selling. Well, who's doing the selling? People who are taking profits, number one. Number two, there are miners who have been mining Bitcoin for 10 years. They have Bitcoin, right? They're going to take some profits to continue their operations, because each time there's a halving going on, these miners are able to earn less and less Bitcoin with the operations that they're running, but then obviously they're holding tons of Bitcoin that they have mined in the past. There's also whales, right? Whales meaning other Michael Saylor types who are holding Bitcoin. You know, again, there's 21 million of these things. So if you guys think about this, there's a wall. Okay, well, you know, but Michael Saylor doesn't care where he buys it. He bought it as low as 20,000. You know, this past weekend, he bought it as high as 97,000. He obviously thinks, well, there was an interview that he did on CNBC. He thinks it's going to 13 million in 2045, in 20 years, a piece. 13 million a piece, right? Could it be? I don't know. I'm not going to be alive then. But I do own Bitcoin. I have not bought lately. I'm going to hold it forever. Bitcoin is not a trading. I have enough trading tools. Bitcoin is not a trading tool for me. I'm just going to hold it and pass it on to my kids. I own about 7 or 8% of my total assets in Bitcoin. I believe it, as long as the debasing of the currency is happening, as long as printing and spending is happening. This is one way to protect yourself from it. And Bitcoin over the last, with the ups and downs, 10 to 60 to 10 to 30 to 20 to 70, whatever, has on average returned 140% a year. But I can see the volatility is kind of subsiding. Is it going to return 140% a year going forward? No. But you know, according to Michael Saylor, it should return easily 20 to 30% a year, which is massive. Okay, I mean, this year S&P 500 is up 30%, 28%, which is amazing, but that doesn't happen either. That gets you 10%. So my last thought on this is Michael Saylor a gambler or a genius? I definitely think he's a genius. He's tapping into something that most people did not see. And what he's doing is he's opening his company up into a Bitcoin proxy for a lot of other institutions who cannot touch Bitcoin. Okay, you guys have to think big on this. You guys have to think differently on this, out of the box a little bit. So I'm trying to explain it as well as I can. The downside, well, there's always a downside in things, right? But the downside is, you know, somebody comes and says, oh, by the way, we forgot there was 45 million Bitcoin, not 21 million. Done, right? Bitcoin gets down to, you know, goes down 50% probably. But so far, no. In 12 years, that's not the case. There's going to be other ways of, I'm also hearing that the Cantor Fitzgerald, whose CEO has become the Commerce Secretary, or going to become the Commerce Secretary for President-elect Trump, runs a company called Cantor Fitzgerald. And now they're looking into creating loans using Bitcoin as collateral. So this market is opening up. There's many, many different things that are going to come around. And I honestly never thought I would see these days. But many other tools are going to show up, because a lot of people cannot participate in this legally. And those are the people with the money. Those are the institutions. Those are the whales, and those are the, you know, bound by their charter. They cannot touch Bitcoin or any other crypto, right? Well, I think this is going to happen. Michael Saylor picked Bitcoin because there's a finite amount, and I think he picked the right one. And yeah, I am fascinated by this. I really am. And a lot of people ask me, and I try to explain it to them as much as I can. And then some people, and I'm going to end with this. I saw on Twitter, there was a gentleman who said this is the biggest Ponzi scheme he's ever seen. This is bigger than Madoff. I completely disagree. Completely disagree. Ponzi, first of all, the definition of a Ponzi is you take in new money to pay back your old investors. That's a Ponzi. Madoff did that. WorldCom did that. Enron did that. Okay, those were definitely Ponzi schemes, and Ponzi schemes happen all the time, from $100 value to billions, like Madoff did. Okay, this is not what's happening here. Okay, new investor that's coming in, Michael Saylor is not taking that money and paying back the old investors that put in money. He's directly going to the Bitcoin market and buying Bitcoin. Okay, and this is nothing to do with the Ponzi scheme. So whoever put that up is a bonehead on Twitter, and I wish he maybe watches this and then he comes back and argues this with me. The risks are always going to be there. Okay, there is no guarantees in life. However, people who cannot participate legally in the Bitcoin market are doing this. These are not stupid people. These are all very smart people who have figured out that, okay, I'm about to give this guy $1 billion and buy a convertible note from him with 0 interest on top of that, right? So far, the highest interest that he sold these, I think, was like 1.5%. And now he's selling him at 0 because there is so much demand. Every time he offers one of these, it's 0. And the 42 billion, by the way, that he said on the last earnings call that he's going to bring out through stock sales and convertible notes is already, I think, at like 9 or 10 billion already. And he bought the Bitcoin already, right? I personally think he made Bitcoin break out at 72, 74,000. And if you look at the sales, if you follow him on Twitter, he puts a Bitcoin chart with green dots. Green dots are the ones that where he's buying Bitcoin, right? And if you look at the history, he's put it back all the way to 2020. He was buying in the 20,000s. That's why his average, he keeps buying. That's why his average is 56,700. I wrote it down, so I had to look down for that, right? So, what's going to happen here? A lot of people, what's going to happen if it fails at 100,000? I'm sorry, I don't care. I didn't care last time if it failed at 60,000, went down to 10,000. I'm just going to hold it. It's not a trading asset. A lot of people put charts up, like a technical analysis. I'm like, yeah, you could do technical analysis, but you have to understand the fundamentals of the game. I did the technical analysis while I was talking about it when it was going between 55,000 and 70,000 back and forth for 7 months, right? Then what happened? Breakout. Okay, if you want to look at technical analysis, breakout happened, went to 100,000 or 99 and change. Now it's kind of a wall there. And people go, oh, it's failing. Okay, it's failing. I go, what's it going to do? It's going to go to 75,000. Okay, great. And so he'll issue more notes or stock and buy more. So, and then if some of you are saying that, well, he's the only one buying. When he stops buying, it's going to tank. I'm like, no. You guys should go check out what's happening with the BlackRock ETF. FYI, BlackRock ETF cannot do what Michael Saylor is doing, okay? Because they're an ETF. They're not a company. So Michael Saylor is turning his corporation into a Bitcoin bank for others who who would like to participate in the Bitcoin market, but who cannot legally. How brilliant is that? I mean, think about it, right? In the finance world, I thought I've seen everything, but every few years I see this stuff that I go like, this is brilliant. This is one of those, why didn't I think of that moment? And now I put a video out, I think today, short video. This is Michael Saylor is not the only one with money, right? Apple has 180 billion sitting in cash. Google has 80 billion. Microsoft has 120 billion. In fact, Michael Saylor is going to be in front of the Microsoft board on the next week, I think, doing a presentation. What if these people all say, okay, let's just put 10% of our corporate treasury assets into Bitcoin? Think about it. How many billions is that, right? And coming into a finite amount. That means now there is constant demand and with a limited supply. Well, we all know, right? Markets is a mechanism of supply and demand. Tomatoes, potatoes, it's the same thing. Don't think too hard about it. So Bitcoin to me is not a trading asset. Bitcoin is a buy and hold asset. And now that, of course, we have a more Bitcoin friendly or crypto friendly administration for at least 4 years, I think that's helped, obviously. So yeah, that's my explanation. If you don't like it, tough. Anyway, okay, let's say good morning to Craig. Good morning, Adele. Good morning, Techie B. Good morning, Vic, Edward. Ooh, Edward says, gambler, in my opinion. Well, hopefully you change your mind after my explanation, Edward. Yeah, he's a brilliant guy. He's no dummy. He's an MIT graduate, by the way. Yep, there you go. See, this is what's happening now. It was at 5. Fed cut the rates 50 basis points. They lowered it to 4.5. Fed cut it another quarter basis point. They lowered to 4.25. They just follow. If Fed keeps lowering rates, your savings are going to earn less and less while the debasing is going at full bore. We're literally I looked at the counter before I came on, and we're at 36 trillion already at 27 billion. What's happening here, right? Good morning, WeZoom. There's his WeZoom shirt. It's not his hat. You guys know why I'm wearing the hat. I don't have to go through it every week. Another member says he's a smart businessman. Okay, well, we can discuss that. Everything is a high-risk asset. Show me one asset that's not high risk. There's no guarantees in life. But also show me one asset that is finite. There is no more. Gold, you can always dig more and bring out more gold. Oil, more diamonds, more. Show me a hard asset that's finite. One, other than Bitcoin at the moment. That's what makes Bitcoin unique, okay? Edward says, certainly by physical gold. Okay. ETF, I think, is the same as ETF, by the way, represents physical gold. They have gold backing up in their vaults. It's not just some paper. Most ETFs anyway, especially GLD, okay? Okay. Look, I'm not going to convince anybody otherwise, but gold, absolutely you should own gold. Look at gold, $2,800 an ounce. Doing great. Why? Because it's a hard asset, because it's fighting the debasing of the currency. I agree, 100%. Edward says gold has been used as a currency. Okay. Sure. I have no doubt. But then everything changes, Edward. You have to have an open mind. Like, I'm much older than you, I'm pretty sure. If I have an open mind, and I'm very fiscally conservative, by the way, right? So you should have an open mind and study it. If you study it to this length that I have, and I'm studying every day, I'm learning every day. It's never too late to learn. So I can simplify things for you guys. All right. Okay. I like to do my first successful option trade. I have 300 HAL, DCA 178. You son of a gun. Okay, first sell put. No. We don't sell puts. We don't do anything. No. Oh, no. Stop. That's all wrong, Takey. Don't. We'll talk about it on Wednesday. Hold off until Wednesday. We'll talk about it in the members only. Sell a put. First of all, they're December 20th, not 24th. At $5.30. Why? I don't know why. Because there's no strike at 5:30. Buy a December call at 15. No. Stop. Just hold your 178. I think it's like 203 or something like that. I think it went up as high as 210. You bought it, right? Why? Just leave it alone. You're nervous. Nervous about HOWL? Then get out. Take your profit. If you bought 300 shares at 178, you have 25-cent profit. That's $75. Take your money and run. You know what? I know you're a driver, so to do $75 in a day, it'll take you 4 hours of nonstop driving. I mean, if you're nervous, get out. Hello, Lynn. Lynn, do you want a t-shirt? Maybe one of these days you'll show up to one of these members' lives and tell us your wonderful Doge trade that you're hodling Doge, D-O-G, Doge crypto, and making gazillion dollars so you can quit doing this rat race of rideshare. I'm offering to all the members. I see your avatar, so why don't you send me your I know you didn't get it yet, or you didn't email me. Why don't you send me your t-shirt size and your physical address so we Zoom here can do it. Okay. And send it to you for free. Eric Lee, holding. Okay. Holding what? What are we holding? We're holding a lot. So if there's any other questions, I'll answer them. Techie B, do not do any of whatever this means. I don't think it means much to me, but don't do it. We'll talk about it on Wednesday. By Wednesday, life is not going to go, change that much. Maybe it'll be 225. Like, I don't know. Look, you guys are all like living and dying with this one stock. I mean, there is like 50 other stocks I recommended that like, I think my win rate is like 10 to 1 so far. And you guys are just stuck on one of my losers. I'm concerned about that loser. I paid $250 for it, lowered the cost by selling calls. I'm lowering the cost again by selling more calls. I sold more calls today, covered calls. Maybe you should do that, Techie B. Maybe that's what you meant to say. So you can sell 3 covered calls at 2.5. If you sell them at 15 cents, that's 2.5 plus 15 cents is 265. 178 to 265 is a long way. That's like 35-40%. Oh yeah, absolutely, Eric Lee. Yeah, this is not a trading asset. Okay, yeah. What's the worst that can happen? It's going to go back to 175. I mean, I'm not concerned. I gave you guys my playbook on that. Okay, so let's go to my positions, full transparency. There is volatility here that I'm going to definitely take advantage of. Now, whatever is next I'm about to explain, if it goes over your heads, raise your hand and say, literally raise your hand and say, I am not understanding any of this. And then I'll try to explain it a little further. But at some point, you guys need to read that option book. It's all in there. Okay. So this is live, my position screen. I already bought puts right at the open on the spiders. I sold them. I bought them again. I sold them again. The 2 good, day trades, couple grand worth. So I'm just kind of coasting. So here we are. This is the screen. Hope you guys are seeing this. All right. So what do we have here? There you go. Howell. Okay, start with Howell. I have 13,500 shares of Howell with an average cost of $270. However, last month I did a covered call strategy, sold against my existing position, 135 of the November expiration, which they expired worthless, 2.5 calls at 20 cents. So now I'm at 20 cents. Okay. So I lowered my cost to 250 now. Okay. So what else have I done? So far, I've sold 70 of the December 2.5 calls with an average cost of right around 9 cents. And I'm going to sell them at 15 cents. I'm going to sell them at 20 cents. I'm going to sell them at 25 cents to try to get 20 cents out of it. So if the stock is 2.5 or below by December 20th, what is it? I'm going to lower my cost another 20 cents to $2.30. If the stock is above 250, then I'm going to let it go. Somebody's going to take away that stock from me at 2.5 plus the premium. So either way, I will repair this position next couple of months and I keep lowering my cost basis, or somebody will take it at 2.5. At some point, I may not do that at all. I'm long Piedmont Lithium. I'm long the shares in my investment account. I have 10-cent calls, which these are the types of calls I'm dealing with now for the fact that I don't want to risk too much because my year is monster year. So I'm not going to give them anything. I want to mess around with their, 10-cent, 20-cent calls. And if they expire worthless, not concerned. Okay, it looks like we're having a reversal on the S&P 500. You guys can see it here, right here. Okay. We open higher, so I traded 15 of the December 600 puts right off the open. Actually, in fact, I can show you guys today. Okay, so here it is. I bought 15 of the December 600 puts with an average cost of 713. I sold them with an average cost of 792. That was a good day trade. I don't know, a couple, 1,500, 1,200, something like that. Then I bought the 595 puts, 15 of them, and with an average cost of 590 and sold them at 650. That's another 750. And so far, that's the trading I've done. But now we're going to do some trading. How are we going to do some trading? I'll explain it to you guys because we're going to get into charts and MicroStrategy and all that good stuff. Let's see where Bitcoin is now. Oh, I forgot. You know what? I'll say that at the end. Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still at 95,111. I have a feeling that thing is going to crack, get down to about 92, which is fine. Why? Because the next position I have, oh, by the way, that's the next, let's go through the positions first. I have 10-cent puts on GEO, which is a private prison stock. I have 100 of the December 20 calls, and I have 30 of the December 25 puts. Sorry, puts, not calls. So I'm short basically the stock because I couldn't go short the physical stock because I couldn't borrow it. So actually, I'm going to buy some of these puts back while we're talking here. Let me buy those puts. I sold at 6.5 back at 6. So I'm not buying this new high on the S&P 500. I just bought those puts. Nope. Yeah. Hold on a second. Okay, let's buy some more puts. Let's buy them at 6. Let's buy some more at 6. And they're 605, so I get filled if it goes down to 6. And then let's buy 5 more at 570. These are the December 495 puts on the SPY. Leave open orders that way. I will discuss the volatility on MSTR, MSTY, all that good stuff. Okay, I will actually, let me buy 5 of those 600 puts. Okay, are they not going to give me those puts? Well, 6 and 570. Let's buy the 600s at 8. I sold them at 8.5. The buy puts on a rally is going to beat on the indexes for me at the moment. Okay. Okay, orders are in. We rally a little bit more. I'll buy those puts. Okay, so I'm also long December 35 of the December on BITX, which is the 2x of Bitcoin. Now you guys are going to say, Serge, why would you go buy a put on BITX? It's been going up. Well, you know, I do these counter trend moves once in a while. This is dangerous to your health. Don't do it unless you've done it like me for 30 years. When things go parabolic, you know, things don't end that well. So BITX, Bitcoin, you know, all of these things have gone parabolic a little bit. I'm not saying it's not going to go back up. I'm just saying that when things get stuck out of their Bollinger bands by a lot, it's time for a counter trend move. You know, trend is up, but counter trend move is happening now. I am long 35 of the BITX 45 puts, December 45 puts. Yeah, I paid like $2 for it. They're $2 bid 220 offer. index is at 58.37. I have the 45 puts, and you're going to say, well, why are you buying so far out of the money? That's because I'm counting on implied volatility to help me out a little bit. So if this thing is down about 10%, if Bitcoin corrects to 92, which is normal correction, 100 to 92, let's say 10%. So that's underlying for BITX is IBIT, which is the BlackRock. And BITX is a 2x bearish derivative of IBIT. So raise your hand if you guys are not getting any of this. So those are my positions. I'm holding HOWL. It was as high as 214 today. Oh, I didn't even know that. Okay, I have calls to sell on that, so that's fine. Piedmont Lithium unchanged really. Because I have sold pretty much everything in my long-term portfolio. So this is one of the replacement. Geo, why am I short? Another one of those parabolic moves. I think it'll get down to 25, 23. I'll make some money with those cheapy options. If they expire worthless, no problem. Spiders, I bought and sold puts. I am trying to buy the same puts back, although it's not happening at the moment, but we'll see. And I'm long BITX puts. Okay, so hopefully that explains that. So let's go look at the charts. I'm not sure if I'm going to go through my list, but a couple of the ones that we missed, as you know, this just won't give you chance to get back in, man. I'm just so disappointed with myself, actually. But then my year is wonderful, so I'm not going to mess with it. So this is the S&P 500 2-minute chart. We're not going to look at the 2-minute chart. We're not interested in short-term stuff. Okay, this is the 1-year S&P 500. I think it did make an all-time new high today, and then it's kind of pulling back. No big deal, really. Trend is up. Here's the triple Qs. That did not make an all-time high because there are some sick puppies in the triple Qs, such as Google. DOJ wants them to sell their Chrome, right? Divest it because they think it's a monopoly in search. I don't know. When Trump takes over, I think he's going to get rid of Lena Khan and all the FTC heads, and we're going to have probably more corporate-friendly or tech bro-friendly FTC. Apple, we'll put up the ones that I missed, actually, that we all missed. I missed. Hopefully you didn't. Apple is still going sideways, one of the better-looking ones. Netflix is the best-looking one out of the Mag 7. Well, today's down a little bit, but just made a new high. The rest of them are not looking that hot, especially Nvidia. Nvidia down like 5 more points today. It's right on its 50 EMA now, just about kissing it. Since the earnings, that's not acting well. And also, I talked about this last power hour and last Monday. There is a bearish divergence happening in the MACD. Watch out. Be careful. There's an uptrend. I mean, still in an uptrend. I'm not going to say, oh, it's top for good, whatever. No, not at all. This is IBIT. IBIT is the BlackRock ETF. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a pullback. It's so far above its 20 EMA, 50 EMA. Pullback is okay. But it just went sideways when it broke out about 40. And that was the end of that. And see you later, Hopefully some of you did make money, or some of you have been listening to me for the last, 4 months. This is BITX. This is the 2 times. So this is the one I have puts on. As you guys can see, there's this position right here. I have the 45 puts. Am I expecting it to pull back to 45? Absolutely not. It may, but I'm not going to wait for that. What I'm going to do, though, is if this goes down to maybe 55, 52, those puts will double. Why? Because they're December 20th. I have 27, 26 days to go. So, that's options for you, right? That's why I bought the 45s. 50 EMA is 49. 50 EMA is 40. 20 EMA is 49. That's how far we got away. And when you get up outside Bollinger Bands, like it has a couple times, it's time to trim. Trim meaning time for a correction. Okay, so let's talk about MicroStrategy and its ETFs. Here's MSTR. We know what happened on Thursday. Okay, opened at 540, same day low of 370. I mean, you want to talk about volatility, 170-point range, and it's down a little bit today again. Let me look at the 2-minute chart on that. And then I'm going to put up my option chain and explain to you guys what I'm trying to do. Okay. Okay, so that's MicroStrategy. Okay. Again, uptrend, parabolic, outside Bollinger Bands, correction came, no problem. This is called a key reversal day. It had one more of these, but then it turned and made an all-time high. I don't think it's going to happen this time. So these types of wide ranges, 540 to 370, 170-point range, these don't happen. These happen at tops and bottoms. This does not happen in the middle of a move. Everything is fine. I mean, you know, still in an uptrend. I mean, 20 EMA is at 340. 50 EMA is at 268, 270. This is how far we are from the moving averages. You know, mean reversion will happen, you know, good support at 325. Not concerned, really. So if Bitcoin corrects to maybe 87, 85,000, yeah, this will correct. And now, these are the two surrogates or ETFs of MicroStrategy. One is MSTU that I've been talking about for 2 months. And MSTU is new, right? But billions of dollars is going into this. High was 315 on Thursday. The low was 160, people. This is this. So if MSTR moves 10%, this moves 20%. Okay. So this is 2x MSTR. As if MSTR was not volatile enough. This is like supercharged, turbocharged, whatever you want to call the version of MSTR. And there is also MSTX, which is 1.7 times of MSTR. So I looked at the option chains, and I'm going to put this up for you guys and then try to explain myself what my thought process is and why am I doing what I'm doing. So as you may know, another thing on my position screen, right? All my position screen, I'm going to post again today. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm posting it on the community page. Please go check it out. Those are live open positions. Okay. All right. So MSTX, which is the surrogate of MSTR or ETF of MSTR to the tune of 1.7x. So if MSTR moves 10%, this is going to move 17% up or down. Okay. All right. So the high on this thing was, what did I say it was? 220 on Thursday, and the low was 103, and today's low is about the same, about 105. Right now it's 113. Okay. Where do I want to buy this thing? If I wanted to actually buy it, would I want to buy it here? No, I wouldn't want to buy it here, but I would love to buy this as an 80. Okay, 80. Now, here's the strategy. Through options, this one has weekly options. Weekly meaning every Friday they expire, right? So stock underlying equity is 113.5, let's say. Okay, 113. So now, like I did last week with MSTR and all these boneheads who bought those options from me, right? They got smashed. Their options expire worthless. Is right? Remember, I did the 650 calls and then the 350 puts. All I wanted for 1 day or 2 days for the stock to stay between 350 and 650. I did the same thing with DJT before the elections. I sold $100 calls and $15 puts. They both expired worthless. So basically, I'm a seller of premium. I love selling premium. All right, so I looked at it. So the weekly, these options are going to expire Friday and Thursday markets close. So I'm actually 3 days left in these options. Okay. All right. So the weekly $100 puts on MSTX were as high as 14 today, and they're like 7 to 9. The spread is pretty wide, but it's okay. And they're right about 307 implied volatility. These are expiring on Friday, this coming Friday. okay, at 1 p.m. So if I'm gonna try to sell these as close to $10, $12, $14 as possible. So if we do get a correction in Bitcoin to maybe 92, this will get to probably 100. And at 100, I'll be able to put these out at $12, $15. Now, you're going to say, well, why are you doing that? Two reasons. One, I want to buy MSTX itself, but I don't want to pay 113. I want to pay 85, 80 to 85. Well, if I sell these puts at 10, so that's 100 minus 10 is 90. 90 is close enough, and next month I'll do it again. So somebody will put the shares to me, and I will own the shares at 100 minus the premium I took in. This is called premium selling, right? And these are going to be naked positions. Now, in order to do this, for each single put, I need to have $8,500 to $9,000 in equity. You can't do this willy-nilly. You need equity to do this. Well, figure this out. So if I put up $9,000 and take in $1,000 until Friday, that's 4 days. What is that? That's about 11%, 12%, right? If I do that every week, okay, again, there are a lot of ifs in this, but I'll explain it to you guys. If I do that every week, collect that premium, and most of the time, those are going to expire worthless, but I'm willing to buy those shares at 100 minus the premium. To me, I have money sitting because most of the time, my account right now is probably 80% cash. Why not utilize my cash to create more return on that sitting cash? And I'm willing to buy it. Now, if I was not willing to buy the shares at 85 to 90, I wouldn't do this. It's risky. But since I'm willing, because then what I'm going to do is that if I do get put and I buy those shares and 100 minus 10, let's say it's 90, right? I will turn around and create income out of it. And then now I'm going to give you guys the $100 call price. $100 calls are $20 for a week, single week. That's 20%. The covered call strategy will start happening, and then I will turn this into a cash cow. Now, for each put that I'm going to sell, it requires $9,000. Okay, well, 9,000 taking 1,000 is 12%. 4 times I can do this. That's 48% a month. Okay, times 12. That's 500% a year. Think about it. Now, this is under the circumstances that they all expire worthless. So what if it goes to 60, you're going to say? Okay, I'm willing to buy the stock at 85. It goes to 60. I'll sell calls and then lower my cost. And literally in 3 months or 4 months, I will own the MSTX for zero cost. Why? Why? Because the implied volatility is so high at 300%. It shouldn't be 300. It's probably 100%. But it's so high because of this last volatility that I need to take advantage of that and sell premium. And I'm willing to buy the shares actually at 85, 80 to 85. Well, that's one way of doing it, right? Now I can go sell the 80 puts, but they're not worth much. They're about a couple of bucks. I'm willing to sell the 100 puts at $9, $10, $12 for sure for this Friday. And then do it again for next Friday, and then do it again for next Friday. Okay. You guys get my drift yet? And go back to the charts. A couple of the ones I missed that will not, these stocks, when they break out, they will not let you in. And this is what happens. There's AI. Go check the power hours and, all the other ones. I said, if it breaks out, buy. Well, yeah. It broke out at 28. And like an idiot, I did not jump on it. I didn't follow my own word. And now we're at 40. Well, 39 and 88 it hit. Another one that won't let me in is Bloom Energy. Stuck on the upper Bollinger Band. It broke out. They got a massive contract. Great catalyst. These two are buy on dips. Where would I buy Bloom Energy? God help me if it gets down to 2022. I'm going to be all over that. And same thing with AI. As earnings came out on that, and if that gets down to 33 to 35, I'm all over that. So that's that. Then a couple of little ones that we talked about last week, or I think 2 weeks ago. Archer Aviation, that's the EV tolls, right? Electric people movers. And look what happened to that thing. I remember like today, somebody asked me about it, and 490. I said you can buy it at 4, risk the 50-day EMA at 370, and here we go, double. Okay, another one, LUNR, which is Intuitive Machines. Earnings came out, broke out. You guys know I traded it, and some of you are in it. I know you are. So all good for you. The one I'm long and I'm waiting for it to break 15 is Piedmont Lithium, PLL. This looks just like my little LUNR trade. I love these types of patterns. It's a lithium stock. They actually are merging with the largest lithium miner in Australia. So they're going to be a massive conglomerate, actually. I like it. And this used to be a $70 number, by the way. I like these stocks that base, and break out. Another one I talked about was ELF. Under is 200 EMA, still kind of watching it, but one of my favorites. It's becoming one of my favorites. I don't know. I'm not going to get into every single one that I'm in, but let's see. Oh, somebody will ask me, I'm sure, HOWL. Okay, well, what about HOWL? Okay, I bought it at 270 average. It died, went down to 160. Now we're at 204, 205. It's bouncing back. It's a dead cat bounce, although any bounce is a good bounce. I'm selling the 250 calls right here. I'm trying to lower my cost some more. If it gets to 250, great. If it doesn't, no problem. Those options will expire worthless, and I will lower my cost some more. Chinese stocks are moving today, but not my cup of tea at the moment. Let's see, what else is there? If you guys have any questions, please put it in the chat. Actually, you guys gotta give me. Okay, this is the one I'm actually have the puts on, Geo. It needs to break like 25 for it to die, but I mean that was a $14 number. It got up to 30 because of Trump. Trump is supposedly put everybody in jail before he deports them. So this is the play supposedly. I don't know. I've been talking about this Russell 2000, beautiful breakout, pullback, almost closed the gap, new highs today. I've been talking to you guys about this IWM Russell 2000 for a few months. Another EV toll manufacturer that breaking out. Look at these charts, right? Joby, Aviation. Something must be going on with those. I'm not sure what it is, but hey, charts don't lie. You guys give me 1 second. I gotta I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. If you have any questions, please pop them on the chat, please. And then, so hopefully you guys understood my MSTR strategy or MSTX strategy. Okay, so both of these JOBY as well as ACHR are buys. For me, what will they do? They will go sideways, for probably a week, 10 days, maybe, hopefully. The moving average will catch up and then the next legs will come in. So, yeah, I'm pretty upset that I missed these low price ones. But another one that was my favorite, as you guys know, Unity Software, right? Another one, one other important thing is TLT is liking this new, TLT is the inverse 20-year note. So if TLT is going up, interest rates are going down. Everybody is liking this new Treasury Secretary. I mean, he used to work for George Soros, by the way, and then he went and created his own shop. So, yeah, and he's the Treasury Secretary for the next 4 years. And hopefully, I'm about to buy those puts again that I sold. This is the open. This is a 2-minute chart. If you guys want to day trade, I watch a 2-minute, 10-minute, 60-minute. But if I trade off a 2-minute, same setup, Bollinger Bands, 20, 50, 200 EMA. S&P 500 opened at 600. Bought the puts right at the open, actually. Bought the 600s. Sold them, then bought the 595, sold those. Now I'm trying to buy a bag. I'm pretty sure we're going to roll over at the end of the day. If not, it's okay. A little bit of a protection. And the two favorites of mine, always, right? That I'm long in my portfolio, investing. I was long Carvana, Kava, got out, rotated, Affirm. Yeah. Again, these are the types of stocks you guys need to look at. New high today at 70. Mojotronics, if you're here, hopes you still have it. Don't jockey it. Don't trade it. Just hold it. And the other one was Upstart. These all 4 months ago, if you guys go back on the breakouts, we talked about these. And then most of you went and bought Howl, HOWL. And you know, and they're all asking me about how. Well, what about Upstart? Did you trade Upstart? No. You should have made a ton of money. No. Did you trade Lunar? No. Did you trade Affirm? No. I'm like, well, what about it? If you traded everything, you'd be so far ahead this year. And last but not least, as you guys know, what else did I add? I added something to my list today. Huh. I don't know. Oh, SMCI. Super microcomputer. That thing doubled in about a week and change. Time to probably short that thing. I will sell some premium on that. So hopefully you guys understood my MSTR, MSTX, and MSTU strategy, how I'm dealing with Michael Saylor. The MST, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell premium for this week on MSTX. I'm going to sell the 100 puts. Stock is 114. If it's 100 or below, somebody will put it to me. I want to buy it at about 80, 85. This was 220 on Thursday, by the way. And that's the way I'm going to play it. And if it's not there, the options will expire worthless. I will collect 12% on my $9,000 investment. Okay. For each put, you need $8,500 to $9,000. So it's not free. And you guys must understand that you must be willing to buy the shares. You must be. If you're not willing to buy the shares, don't do this. I am willing to buy the shares. And because then I can turn around and sell the calls and just go to town with this thing. So let's look at this. Okay, let's see where we're at. VITX puts are fine. I'm just about to buy my puts that I sold on SPY. Those are fine. Last positions. Okay, those are fine. PLL 1340 up on a reversal day. Howl 205. Let's see if we can close at 210, 212 today. That would be wonderful. Yeah, I mean, I'm chilling. I have the puts to be bought. What else do I have? Yeah, that's it. Maybe Bitcoin will correct another 10%, not 10%, 5%, and my puts will print. But if they don't print, I'm not concerned. I have a little bit of a profit on it, but nothing major really. But so the other thing is, like, everybody's asking me too, is, well, he's buying all this Bitcoin. Who's selling it? I told you guys, the miners, the whales, people who own Bitcoin from 10,000. I mean, people are taking profits all the time. The other thing that's happening is that they're introducing a lot of derivatives on IBIT, on BITX, futures, options on futures. Bitcoin used to be, I want to see your faces before I do that. Bitcoin used to be, such a slow and steady. Well, not slow and steady, but it was like not too complicated. Now it's becoming really, really complicated, completely complicated. So, but then you have to read the tea leaves and do it. Okay, so let's see questions. Okay. Yes, take EB. Okay, so we'll discuss how. Archer, ACHR, 4 to 8. The other one, maybe you should have bought that one, right? Well, shoulda, woulda, coulda. If my aunt had balls, he'd be my uncle. That doesn't work like that. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. No. Yeah, don't. What? Yeah, so this is an issue. If you have a margin account, TKB looks like you have a margin account. Okay. So there's something called PDT rule, pattern day trader rule, on Robinhood and any company. If you don't have 25,000 in equity, you will get hit with this PDT, and then they will restrict your account. So, but luckily, or fortunately, on Robinhood, there's a counter. It's going to keep track for you, and it will warn you, this is your forced trade. You cannot buy and sell the same thing the same day more than 3 times the past 5 days. So you have to let one go out before you do it again. I don't know why you're day trading. The first strike rolls off. Yes. No, not permanent. Once it goes away, it goes away. You can do it again. In order to avoid the PDT rule, you can have a cash account. Then you can trade as many times, day trade as many times as you want, but then you will not have access to more equity, and you shouldn't be on margin anyway, Techie B. Come on now. You know better. BITX, I have trailings. BITX, I have a trailing. We'll talk about these on. Save all these questions to the members only. BITX, I have trailing stop sell for 10%. BITX, I have a trailing stop to sell for 10%. What do you mean? 10% profit? 10% loss? Okay, if you buy something, it goes up. Okay. It gets away from you, let's say 10%, it's up 10%. I wouldn't put stops. But if it goes up 20%, I think you had a BITX position before, okay? Let's say you bought BITX at 40. It goes to 45. Now you're up like 11, 12%, okay? Put a stop at 6% or 7% from your current price, not your profit level. So if BITX is 40, you bought it at 40, it's 45, okay? 6% of 45 is what? 280. So put a stop at 42.80. You bought it at 40, 42.80 will give you a 5% profit. If it goes to 48, raise the stop to 7% from 48. Goes to 50. You want to 64. I mean, then you might sell it at some point. It's up 55%, right? But raise your stop every day. Don't be right on its butt, right? Raise your stop every day. So you bought BITX is 40, goes to 45. Your stop is 42.5, then goes to 48. Then every day raise it 7% from that 42.5 level, not from its current price. So you have some room for a pullback, so it keeps going higher, because nothing is going to go up in a straight line like it did this last time. So that way you don't get hit, right? But that's what I would do. That's how I use trailing stops. I don't use trailing stops. I don't use any stops. I use mental stops. But you have to be disciplined for that. Okay, what about ELF? I like it. I don't own it because it's Hain. I took that off. because I know what happened with it. Earnings came out, they ate it, went down to 6. Now it's back to 8.5. Not too boring. MSTX every morning around 7 a.m. There's a huge sell-off, 1 or 2 candles. Thursday morning. Every morning. Well, not necessarily. This morning it gapped up actually. I mean, the sell. Look, the MSTX is moving because MSTR. MSTX is not moving by itself, Techie. MSTX is following MSTR. So you have to watch MSTR. MSTX is an ETF of MSTR of 1.7x. So MSTX is not even a stock. MSTX is nothing. It's just an ETF with the underlying being MSTR. You have to watch MSTR. Look at the MSTR chart, and then if you want to trade MSTX, trade it that way. Thursday morning, I placed 2 shares limit 108, and price dropped to 106. Call Robinhood. Ask him. You should have. Although, one reason may be that you're really tight, and if it's not a round lot, they do play games with you guys. So round lot meaning 100 shares. MSTU and BITX. Okay, that's, again, you're stuck on the wrong train here. Has nothing to do with anything. Okay, so BITX is the ETF, double ETF, bull or bear, double ETF for IBIT, which is another ETF. So we have an ETF of an ETF. IBIT follows Bitcoin cash price to the penny. Okay? BITX is 2x of IBIT. Done. MSTU is an ETF of MSTR, which is the common shares, Michael Saylor's company, MicroStrategy. That's 2x MSTR. So if MSTR moves 5%, MSTU up or down is going to move 10%. I would not be watching MSTU or BITX by itself, because the dog, these are the tails. The dog on MSTU or MSTX is MSTR. The dog on BITX is IBIT, which follows another tail. It's another tail for Bitcoin. Okay? You got to understand what you're playing. CRSP. Oh, CRISPR Therapeutics. I think it's going up a little bit today. I'll take a look. Biotech stock. You know what? I will show you guys a biotech stock, and then you guys will stop trading biotech stocks. What do shaded mean on option chain mean? Ask me that on Wednesday. Nothing. It means nothing. I don't know. Oh, shaded, the highlighted one? I'll just click on it. It becomes highlighted. Shaded means nothing. I don't know what that means. Ask me on Wednesday at the members only. Crisp popping. Okay, hold on, Craig. Craig is the biggest gambler on the planet. I'll take a look. He jumps on anything. He bought Bitcoin at 72,000 when it broke out. Sergio, what happens to this trade if BTC doesn't retract to 92? And instead, okay. Then I'll take my loss. But my experience over the last 30 years, having seen these movies multiple times a week, is that a 10% correction is warranted. Not that also he has stopped buying. Okay. I mean, he put up like $3.5 billion more this weekend to buy. Looks like at the moment he's the only one who's buying. Well, when he stops buying until the next convertible comes or the ATM comes, the sellers will come in, take a little bit of charge, and then move on. I mean, and if it doesn't, great. I'll take a 20-cent, 30-cent loss on those options and get out. You got to take losses. At the moment, Bitcoin is 94.7, so it broke 95,000. So a little quick whoosh to 92, and I will be out of my BITX. So let's take a look. I never worry about single positions, Edward. You're new, I know, as a member, but please show up on Wednesday. You'll learn quite a bit, not from me, also from the other members, is that I look at my overall positions as like a supermarket basket. I'm looking at equity. My equity today is up close to 5 digits. Okay, I'm not trying to flex or do any of that, but I just look at overall equity. I don't. That's my trading thing. I own Bitcoin. I will never trade actual Bitcoin itself. The surrogates I will trade because I see, I see an arbitrage, or not arbitrage. Arbitrage is the wrong word. I see an opportunity with increased implied volatility. That's why I do what I do. Right? You have to figure this out. You have to read the tea leaves and say, okay, well, implied volatility on MSTX is too high. How do I take advantage of that? By selling volatility. Okay. And so to me, there's many ways of skinning the cat, and I try to do it as painless as possible for the cat. I'm a cat lover. I'm not a cat hater, so stop. Let's see. All right. Yeah, I didn't buy those puts. God dang it, I came within 5 cents of each. Shit. Another 630 and 840. I had it at 8 and 6. Fool. Okay, whatever. Hal 206, 207. Wonderful. Where are the okay? Okay, so they're 192.45. I can put them. I have 35 of them. So if and the BITX is 58.28, nowhere near 45, right? Okay, so if this thing drops to 55 tomorrow, BITX gets to 92. BTC gets to 92. These things will be like $3.5. That's 50-60%. I'll take it then. Today, if it tanks some more and gets to, like, right now, they're at 220. So I have about a $700 profit, but it may or may not. I don't know. But my experience says that I think at 92,000, 90 to 10% correction from 100,000 is expected. It could go more, but if it doesn't and gets to, this is the low at 95 and turns up, I'll sell it at 175, take a 25-cent hit on those options and get out. Look, on options, I have to be right on the direction and the duration. Okay? That's why it's a difficult game to play, and that's why it's not a game I suggest for you guys to play, and I suggest if you guys are going to follow me, follow the underlying. Do the underlying. Okay? I said that a million times already. Meaning underlying is you could short BITX, the shares itself, the ETF itself. It's easily done. I do options because we put less money and then the return is a lot higher. Leverage is more, all these things. Okay, we missed those puts. Let's cancel those. Man, I came within the 3 cents, I think. Okay, well, at the end of the day, we'll have a rally. We'll buy them again. Let's take a look at MSTX. MSTX. Okay. SPY. Oh, I'll have to look at CRSP for Craig. Hold on. These are November 29 expiring $100 puts. They're 9. I'm going to start selling these at 10. I'll put one at 10, one at 12, one at 14. If I get a tank at the end of the day, I get filled. So for each one, I need $9,000. Not sell. Dumb shit. Not buy, sell. Okay, let's sell one of those. So I'm willing to buy 300 shares of MSTX at 85 to 90 on Friday. There's 10. And okay, buying power is taking $9,200 actually, not 9,000. Okay, so that's gone. That's in. Okay. Okay. That was sell one at 10. So each day MSTX does not get to 100 or close to it, these options are going to lose value. It's called theta decay, time decay. I'm going to sell one more at 12 if it gets there. And that should do it for today. And then if it tanks, goes to 20 tomorrow, I'll sell one at 20. Because I want to buy MSTX actually at 80 to 85, somewhere in that range. And if it doesn't get there, then these options will expire worthless. I'll collect all that premium. I'll, wash, rinse, repeat. Okie dokie. Yeah, I think it's good. For today, we're good. Let's see. What do we have here? Okay, so 8.5. I sold it at 8.5, 10, 12 for today. Cool. I like it. I like it. I want to buy this thing at like 80 in a discount on Friday. And if it doesn't, I put up 9,000, 9,200 each, and then I'll collect 11% for 4 days. That's like loan shark money, people. Yeah. BITX. Where do I think BITX is going to go? Probably. Let's go. Yeah, I see. Maybe 54, hopefully. 52 to 54. It's in an uptrend. I'm doing a counter trend like these. See this one here, Edward? Counter trend. When it gets stuck in the upper Bollinger Band, it'll just collect to the middle band and then continue. This is not healthy. This is only done by professionals. Don't do it. Just continue with the trend. Wait for a pullback. Buy BITX is the trade here. What I'm doing is just extracurricular activity, which you guys don't want. Okay, cool. What else? MSTX. Okay, I'm happy with it. All right. Answer a few more. Oh, CRISPR. Shit, I forgot. Hold on. Oh, I will. Yeah, I was going to show you guys the downside of biotech stocks. CRSP. What about it? Under the 200. It's moving up a little bit, but yeah, under the 200. Above it's 50. Volume is not there. No. When it breaks out, Craig, when it breaks out 53 and change, the 200 EMA, let me know. Okay, you guys want to see a disaster? What did I? In fact, I showed the stock on Friday. I said, I like the pattern. It's going sideways. I'm not going to buy it. I'm just watching it. You guys can go check it out. Cassava Biosciences. You guys see this disaster? Huh? Hopefully nobody got caught with this. Stock closed at 20 on Friday. Closed about 26.50. You know where it opened at today? Right here, down here. Not up there, down here. 3.5. They had one single drug, Alzheimer's drug, that failed in double-blinded studies, and they took it to cash value. Okay? Now you guys are going to go all afraid of on Howell and say, oh my God, what if that happens, it goes to zero? Well, no, because I checked this morning on Cassava Sciences. How much cash do you guys have? Do you think they have? $3.50. There you go. Well, Howell has $3.20 in cash and it's selling at a discount already. Okay? So you guys have to do your due diligence and research on these, because just jumping on it because Serge bought it, right? Serge makes mistakes. But I did my fundamental due diligence. Technically, I shouldn't be in HOWL. It's garbage. But fundamentally, it's okay. And I know how to repair that position. And I'm not too far. Now, if I bought this thing at like 6, I would have been out a long time ago. But, hey, I'm okay. Anyway, hopefully I answered those questions. God dang it. Man, those puts are back to 8.5. I should have bought those. Sometimes you don't mess around with pennies. You just buy the damn thing. It's okay. Life will go on. All right. So I'm going to answer a few more questions and I'm going to say goodbye. I'm hungry. Okay. Edward Lee, question mark? Yes, yes, yes. Baba bouncing off 200. I'm red, thinking about getting back in at least to average down. Why did you buy it anyway? I don't know. Why did you buy it? Well, I know you're red on the other one too. You FOMO'd into that MSTX or MSTU, whatever that was. Did you get out? Did you take your loss? We need to have a chat on Wednesday, Mojotronics. Baba bouncing off 200. I'm red. Why'd you even buy it? You have to do something? Why'd you even buy it? I'm not sure. Everybody's in hell. Gosh, if that thing goes to zero, I will never hear the end of it. Okay. Ah, there you go. See? My students. They bought they bought it 30% cheaper than me. Wonderful. Smack me in the head with it. When I sell on Robinhood Mobile, I find P&L. When I sell on Robinhood Mobile, hard, impossible to find P&L. No, actually, yeah, kind of. Why don't you use the Robinhood Legend or whatever that is that just brought out? On the mobile, yeah, it's tough. But then they attached it your yearly P&L, monthly and yearly P&L, right below your equity. Yes, sir. That's the name of the game. Know when to hold, know when to fold. Robinhood settles trades in a day. Yeah, that's in a cash account. That's in a cash account. In a cash account, you can buy and sell as much as cash you have in the account all day long. That's in a cash account. Now, Techie B, you can convert to okay. So Mojotronics corrected himself. He goes to cash account. Okay, Spark should be popping on Wednesday, so I'll miss the live and rewatch. Okay, absolutely. Spark? What's Spark? I don't know. Yes, please watch the replays. Okay, so for all the members, if you don't watch it, you don't want to learn options. A degenerate gambler like you? Definitely not. Okay, then show up. I'm teaching you guys. Jesus. If I had, yeah. Okay. I don't know what to say. Oh my God, Techie B. Oh my God. Last famous words. Baba will come back. We definitely need to have a talk. Spark is food delivery? Oh, he's doing Spark. I'm sorry. Okay, cool. We definitely are going to have a talk. Serious talk. A little wash down on Wednesday. Mojotronics? I don't know. Don't make me lose hope on you. Why did you buy Baba? Give me one reason before I hang up today. Why? What possessed you? While I'm talking about AI, while I talk about BE, while I'm talking about... That's not... Okay, you know what? On that one, I'll give that to you. What'd you do with your MSTU mess? I sure hope you took a little bit of a loss when it gave you a chance. Okay. Well, not on MSTU, when you FOMO'd into that thing. Anyway, we'll talk about it on Wednesday. All right, so good. 160 to 205. That's 45 cents. That's... what is that? 30%? 28%? Jesus. So what you guys should do is when I buy it, don't buy it, wait a week because I'm early and then buy it cheaper than me. Cool. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Oh my God. Now he has two of them. Baba and MSTU. How do you know it's going to come back? How do you know? How do you know? What if you have like a Sava situation? SAVA. Huh? What if Bitcoin goes to 60,000 and MSTR goes down to 200 and MSTU goes down to 50? What are you going to do? Watchtronics. This is not the way we're teaching the game here. You're being a bad example. Okay, you took the profit and you FOMO'd back in as if... We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk, actually, you're going to be the case study on Wednesday. How you FOMO'd into that thing. You talked yourself into it. Yeah, there it is. There it is. There it is. He corrected himself. Shouldn't have bought again half asleep. Do I look half asleep when I'm trading? No. Okay, this is going to be the case study on Wednesday, people. Members, please show up. I'm not going to yell at him, but I'm just going to make sure this never happens again, ever. He woke up and pushed a button. I'm like, what is happening? Okay, so much love to you all. Be safe out there. Happy Thanksgiving. Don't look at me. Don't follow him for sure. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Enjoy your turkey day. I will be here on Friday. Markets are open on Friday. I'm just going to go try to sell those puts now on MSTX. Some fool is going to pay me all that money, and I'm going to take his money. And if it goes under it, I'm willing to buy it. That's the only reason I'm doing it. So hopefully by then, okay, check out the community page. Monday, Wednesday, today's Monday. I'll post the positions latest by 2 p.m. Pacific. Wednesday again and Friday again. Come back for Power Hour on Friday. Check out today's video on Michael Saylor. Gambler or genius? And that's it. I'm done. You guys have a great day. The rest of your day. Be safe. So far, so good.